All right, so I've got a couple emails about healthcare costs, which I think you'll like. That in response to my recent blog post on healthcare alternatives before Medicare. Here's my man Martin. He says he'll try to make this brief. First of all, thanks for the great info. Blah blah blah. It helped me retire early from my crappy old job at 57. I know you've put out videos on how everyone scares us into thinking healthcare will bankrupt you in retirement, but I wanted to share my experience. I'm 57, my wife is 65. I retired last year, wife retired a couple years ago. Household income of approximately $45,000. Even in the high-cost state of California, I was able to obtain health insurance on the exchange for $74 a month. Yes, it has a bare bones policy, bronze policy with a high deductible, but the HSA is compatible. So I'm going to put $4,600 per year into the HSA, and in 366 days have enough money in the bag to cover the deductible, and the HSA to cover the deductible, excuse me. This also has the added bonus of lowering my Maggie, which lowers my premium even more. If we need additional funds to live on, I'll pull from my Roth so I don't change my Maggie, my modified adjusted gross income. Please continue to share this info, as I hate to think how many people are killing themselves in a crappy old job because they don't know there are ways to manage healthcare costs. Yeah, right on, Martin. That's good stuff. So let's go to my man Dwayne from local here. Followed up with this, if I can find it. Let's see, right here. All right, this is Christian Healthcare Ministries that Dwayne is a part of. All right, so here we go. Josh saw the review on Solidarity Health Share program, and it looks good. I want to let you know that we are on Christian Healthcare Ministries and have been on the program since 2017, when we dropped our group policy for our businesses and gave people the money in their checks to buy their own. That is the voucher system. That's what Medicare should be doing. They should say, here, man, normally we spend $10,000 per head. Here's freaking $15,000. Go crazy. I'm telling you. You would find such cost reduction. It'd be insane. It'd be freedom. It'd be insane. And of course, the reason that will never happen is because who's going to be at the government teat in order to lobby for various policies and freaking drugs and all that stuff. But I tell you, if we ever get a true free market economy, vouchers is the way to go, just like the GI Bill. But the GI Bill didn't reduce money. Yeah, it did. There was significant reduction. Well, I would say reduction. College was significantly inexpensive until what happened? Until Hillary got her evil mitts on the freaking college funding process and made it all by the government. That's it. And the minute that happened in the mid-90s, you just see the tuition skyrocket. When I was at George Mason, it was $7,000 a year. That was only 25 years ago. Freaking nuts, man. It's just that anytime the government gets involved, they make it more expensive by far. All right, it's weird too because people don't ever say about the government getting out of healthcare to make it cheaper. Nuts. You notice the life insurance, you can get life insurance cheap. Why? Because the government's not involved. All right, so the 4 years we've been on the Christian Healthcare Ministries, we've had 2 ER visits, emergency room, and 10 days of hospital stays and numerous routine procedures. And we've still loved being with CHM. One of my dear friends, he owns a leading Alpharetta-based healthcare brokerage, reminds me it's not insurance, and I'm thankful for that. Small businesses with under 25 employees just got crushed with ACA healthcare plans. In 2017, we made the switch as our premiums were going over $1,200 a month with deductibles that would have us paying the first $23,000 per year per head. That would have us paying $23,000 per year per head. These health share ministries are what insurance was intended to be. Cover your own basic costs and share the catastrophic incidents. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. We personally know 6 additional families that are on Christian Healthcare Ministries in addition to our 3. 2 of my children and their families are on the plan and recently decided to remain on the plan, though a job change with a new insurance options was offered. One of the families had a major catastrophic incident, and Christian Healthcare Ministries covered over $1 million in extended ICU stay. This guy from Georgia Tech did an article. Okay, here we go. So there's a guy, the Georgia Tech sports writer, Ken Segura, did a story, and it is good read and encouraging, but there's so much more that God did that did not get placed in an article. Okay, I'm not, okay, so it sounds like he had written an article about a Georgia former Tech football player fights for a life walking miracle. All right. I always told my wife we'll know how this works once we have a bigger incident. For the 3 large incidents we've had, I know of over 50,000 K, all expenses were paid in full. And that's freaking awesome. And then they know somebody who had $1 million ICU coverage. And he says, I have no problem telling the story of our adventures through health insurance. In 2009, when I started my own business, we covered a family of 6, as my 4 children were all in school for about $650 a month with reasonable deductibles. In 2017, the cost has soared and the deductibles have risen so high it was impossible because of freaking Obamacare. It's freaking, these guys are such snakes in the grass, man. Such snakes in the grass. Anyway, maybe I'll read that article next time, but that's fantastic. All right, so then I'll stop that. Well, let's see. I had another article here with former Tech football player fight for a life is a walking miracle. We got the happiest realization strikes Deanna Darby every so often. When she and her husband Mike were hanging ornaments on the Christmas tree in their home in the north end of Gwinnett County. When they're in the kitchen joking around, I look in, wow, I can't believe you're here, says Deanna, Mike's wife of 34 years. The disbelief has reason. The Darbys and their 6 children can look back with wonder on Mike's recovery from an attack of a virus that nearly claimed his life in June of 2017, I guess. And then his rehabilitation from being so debilitated that the assault on his body was going to leave him in a paralyzed state he was worried about. They can celebrate his health, but also the wide and deep support they receive from family and friends, some not heard from in years. Mike Darby was a walk-on at Georgia Tech for Coach Bill Curry in the early 80s. He marvels at how long ago teammates rallied to his aid, still connected by the shared misery of grueling August practice at the school's punishing curriculum. I've only felt grateful that God let me hang around. I feel like there's so much more to do, says Mike. They met in Georgia Tech in 1981. They married in 1983. They have raised 6 children, 2 of whom followed them to Tech and served on the football team as student managers. Mike works as a controller for a software company in Cumming. A former teammate of Darby's, Dwayne here, describes his close friend and his wife as a loving couple active in their community and salt of the earth. If you ask them a question, you'll get an honest answer, he says. They attend 12 Stone Church in Lawrenceville faithfully. They love going to Disney World and live a life that's been centered on the children's sports and drama activities. On June 16th of this year, Mike called Deanna to tell her he was driving himself to the emergency room at Northeast Georgia Medical Center. His heart was racing. He was having trouble breathing. It raised fears from a medical episode a few years ago when he was hospitalized with pneumonia and an irregular heartbeat. Oh, we're thinking, here we go again, said Deanna. Still, the hope was that he could return home by Sunday for Father's Day, which is their wedding anniversary. But Saturday, he was still having breathing problems. He was moved to the ICU and put on a ventilator. Deanna was told that he was not going to die, that he would be okay. Quickly, however, his health deteriorated. His blood pressure started dropping, and an EKG, echocardiogram, revealed that his heart was barely functioning. Whew. The doctor who had told Deanna not once but twice that he would be okay now had to deliver a painfully different message. Eesh. Walker decided to transfer Darby to the hospital's main campus, which was better equipped to handle his case. But he wasn't even confident that Darby would even get the chance, that he was going to die. We were not that far from losing him. They finally made it to the hospital. They had a heart pump implanted to pump blood because his heart was too weak to do it on his own. What happened was that a virus had severely weakened his heart muscle, a condition called myocarditis. Sedated to the point of unconsciousness, he stabilized after the implant. Doctors' hope is to keep him alive long enough for his body to fight off the virus. However, due to his poor heart function, his liver and kidneys were failing. His lungs were filling with fluid. His gastrointestinal tract wasn't functioning. Whew. Man, the day before he took himself to the hospital, he was throwing around a football with his youngest child. Now he was dying. Oh, man. There were moments we really thought we were going to lose him. For several days, the possibility of death loomed. Okay, so let's keep going. The doctor who first cared for him, I was just really sad because I felt like he might pull out of it. And I saw his numbers, and they were barely compatible with life. Somehow he made it. He has stabilized. The worst had finally passed. His health improved daily. He was taken off dialysis. His failing liver, which had turned his body yellow, began to function again. His blood pressure improved, and his heart and rhythm stayed under control. It's real life and death battle, and he did recover. Woo! He was independently, let's see here, but his ordeal was only beginning. After his body expended so much energy defending itself from a virus, his body had atrophied. I couldn't feel anything, but I could move nothing. I couldn't even move my fingers. After a 6-week hospital stay, he was moved to a nursing home in Gainesville for rehabilitation. And that right there is why I have long-term care, just because I have 4 kids and 1 income. The possibility of walking again seemed remote, but somehow he threw himself into rehabilitation. His primary role of getting okay. He just said, "Hey, I'm committed. This is what I'm going to do. I'm sticking with it," and just kept at it. Being stubborn isn't always a bad thing. So let's see. He continues physical therapy on his own, but he's back to work, walking and throwing the football again. His heart, liver, and kidney functions are improving. That's fantastic, man. All right, good stuff. So he raised some money for care through church. So that a lot of people know him and stuff. And that's fantastic. So anyway, all good there. Lots of negative on health insurance stuff. There's lots of opportunities if you just know where to look. But the first thing you should do is just take care of yourself, man. Lose some weight, eat better, just take care of yourself. Walk, breathe some fresh air, go outside for heaven's sake. Don't just sit around. And of course, try to get the stress. Stress is a killer. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We'll see you.